All right. Today is a great day to draw. This live stream here, I'll be coloring this character, finishing this character up. Normally I would go and render this piece to a finished look and like really paint this, but today I just want to do some line art and show you how I go about that. And so I've got the sketch for 3 characters. I'll probably just do 1 character today, but I will end up finishing these characters sometime. But today I want to just go ahead and start this, finish this up. So the first thing I got to do is lower the opacity on this layer, create a layer above this, and I'm going to be using the normal G pen in Clip Studio, wherever it's at, if I can find it. I haven't done any line art in a while. I've been just like practicing my painting skills, and so today I'm going to practice line art and show you how I will color that. The longest part of this process is the line art. I titled the stream how to color characters, but I won't be coloring until I get the line art done, which is all good. But yeah, I haven't done any line art in a while, so I want to practice doing my line art with all 3 of these characters and color these and finish them up, move on, because these sketches have been sitting in my files for a little too long without me doing anything with them, so got to finish it up. The longest part about this process will be the line art, but it is what it is. Just gotta trust the process. It doesn't look good right now, but it will. Or not good. It's not finished yet. It's not at a finished stage. The fun thing about digital art is that you can really try and experiment with different kinds of techniques and stuff really easily. And so one day I can practice my line art, and the next I can do some painting. Whatever you want to do, it's available to you, especially in a digital art program. I think line art is still my favorite way to render and draw. I've been learning how to paint digitally, but doing line art is definitely less time consuming than painting and rendering that way. But it is fun to learn because I can see myself getting better at that. Is this a hair tie? I can't tell. I think it is. It's supposed to be. What up, what up? Thank you for joining our stream. I'll be drawing and finishing this character, hopefully, in under an hour. So I gotta hurry up. Yeah, I'm gonna finish the line art and then I'm going to color the character. Show you how I would do that. Process for this. I don't need to be too clean, but I'm trying not to press Control Z too much. I just want to be confident in the lines that I put down and do my best to not use Control Z, even though I'm doing it a lot here. Right there, I was tempted to press it, but I won't get this done in an hour if I'm worried about doing my every line. So it's gotta be confident. Long strokes with my pen. And use my arm as well. When I'm using my arm, I am engaging that whole, a better just like rhythm or flow with my hand. Because I remember a few months back, I was drawing a lot and just trying to make sure I was like just in the zone, just drawing a lot, and moral of the story, my hand was hurting, my wrist was hurting because I was drawing with my wrist instead of my arm. And so now I'm more conscious to draw my arm, my whole arm, instead of just my wrist. And it's so easy to do that when you draw digitally because you're drawing on a tablet. It can be easy to forget to move your arm off of the screen. But yeah, I should be able to finish this within an hour. I'm gonna start streaming at least once a week and share some progress with the art I'm creating. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Where's my... Yeah, just finish this within an hour, basically. Move on. Create another comic after Omari of Starfall, the novel I'm working on. I want to work on a comic project. Probably a short one. But I gotta get better at drawing faster, especially line art. Because the most time-consuming part of drawing any comic you do is going to be the line art and coloring stage. Not to mention like the planning and stuff you need to do. So I just gotta get better at my line art. There we go. I just gotta be happy with the lines I put down because I've got time. Press undo. think these lines are starting to get too thick for me though. Not really. I'll make the pen pressure, put it at 10. Should be good. Yo, what up, bro? Fire. Yes, sir. I don't know if y'all can hear the music. Can y'all hear the music? There should be music in the background. I can't tell though. Cannot tell if there's music playing on y'all's end. But oh, you can't hear any music. It is what it is. I'll have to figure it out later. Maybe it's too low. Maybe that's why you can hear it. What if I turn it up? Tell me if you hear this music. I don't know. You're distracting me, Amari. Ew. Got to finish this up. Yeah, turn the music up. So let me know if you can hear it. I am playing music on my side. But let me see. I don't like the thickness of the line I'm doing right now. Keep it at 10. I need to adjust the pressure sensitivity to this brush because it's starting to get on my nerves as far as the brush size. I think it has to do with the tilt. Is that the reset it to default settings? Is that gonna help me out? Nope. I'll just do something like this to make it easier for me to get the ink out of the pen. Nope. I'm getting distracted. Now I gotta turn the stabilization off. That's what I was gonna say earlier. I don't like drawing with stabilization on when I ink. I want it to feel as organic as possible when I'm doing these inks. And there we go. I don't want to press Ctrl Z as much. I gotta configure the settings to the G Pen because it feels alright, but it could be better. But yeah, I like to draw without the stabilization feature on, and that helps me make this digital experience, this digital drawing experience, feel a little bit more traditional. Pressing Ctrl Z too much. It's hard to do because your hand will be on the keyboard or hovering it. Yeah, I was thinking about like actually painting this, rendering it in a more painted style, where I render everything. But I kind of just want a cartoon, comic book, graphic novel kind of a look to this because I want to just practice getting better at inking and rendering it. I would with the Mario Starfall illustrations would take forever. That would take me more than an hour, so I am doing it like this. Gotta adjust the pressure sensitivity still. I know it's this side, it's like the tilt that's messing me up. Should just turn it off, I think. I don't know. Gotta figure this out. It's one thing you don't have to deal with when you draw traditionally. Messing with settings and stuff. And now I feel like I need the the tilt back. I don't know. I'm just messing myself up, distracting myself. Wasting time on frivolous things. Reset. And I'm gonna turn off that stabilization. Again, over here on the right. Turn off the just by speed. That's why. There we go. That's feeling a little bit better. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just tripping. I do not know. But I think around the 30-minute mark of this live stream, I want to start coloring. So I got 15 minutes to finish this. I'm just gonna take my hand away from the keyboard. Otherwise, I will continue to press Control Z. Stabilization is good for this though. It prevents you from making wobbly lines like that, but that's part of what makes the line art cool, is like the mistakes. I think my favorite artist who renders using lines is probably the artist of crazy that I forgot the name of the manga. Dr. Stone, Boichi. I really enjoy the use of textures he has in his line art. Very cool. And the way he draws anatomy as well. Very awesome. My best to just use my arm here when I create these lines. There's a difference between my wrist. My wrist can go this far, but my hand can go, or my arm can go this far. So I got to do better with using my whole arm when I draw. I would definitely recommend you do the same, especially when you draw digitally. If you're drawing on the tablet, try and use your whole arm, not just your hand and your wrist. Got about 10 minutes to lock in and finish this line art. For me, nothing can replace the traditional drawing experience. Just a pen and a piece of paper. That finger is way too big. It will probably take me a hour and a half maybe finish this. Yo, what up? I'm just chilling, drawing this character right now. Trying to finish this inking process so I can go into the coloring process. The numbers? I don't know what you're talking about. You mean the pressure sensitivity? I don't know. These numbers? I don't know. 10 pressure settings. You're distracting me from drawing. Chill. Relax. I gotta finish this line art. But yeah, here's the stats I'm using for my weapon of choice. I'm just playing. Yeah, no problem. I'm just trying to finish this drawing as fast as possible. I have 5 minutes to finish the inking. Probably not gonna happen. I wanted to finish it within 30 minutes of the stream starting, but it is what it is. It is what it is. There we go. I think that was the last song in the playlist. Never mind, I lied. I'm just gonna worry about the blacks right now. Yeah. Focus on these lines. Alright. It is a great day today. I woke up today, so I cannot complain. Hope you are doing well as well. But yeah, that's my attitude toward this day today. Got to close that. I'm probably only going to get one character done on this live stream, but it is what it is. I wanted to attempt to do these two as well, but probably will only do the first one, the first character I have, which is fine. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta live with the mistakes. So you can just move on. I took my hand away from the keyboard so that I don't press Control Z. So that I'm not even tempted to use it. Lines are final. And whenever I'm drawing digitally, I want to try and make this feel as traditional as possible. Makes it more enjoyable to draw on this plastic screen. Yep. All the little mistakes I make are fine. Keep going. Probably like the fastest way to, the best mindset to have when you create a comic is just to draw without pressing Control Z. almost done, and then I will start the coloring process. Yeah, do that for the last 30 minutes of the stream. 30-40 minutes or so. One thing I do want to do though is bring some texture to the lines, just a little bit. Earlier I said my favorite, or one of my favorite artists is Boichi. Really enjoy his lines, his line work. And with his line art you can definitely tell he utilizes texture in his work. I want to bring that to this drawing. I don't know why it's so hard for me to draw a circle. The trick is to draw half of it and then draw the other half. Something like that. Nice. That was a terrible line. I could just get it in one stroke. It's why it's weird, because if I was doing this on paper, I feel like I would be able to do this. But something about this drawing digitally awkward for me. When it comes to doing line art. Or maybe I just gotta get better. I don't know. Bro. I'm pressing Control Z way too many times. There we go. Nice. Now it's got the weapons to draw. Do all the black areas. For these, I'm probably just going to do straight lines. I'll tap wherever I want to draw the straight line and hold down Shift, and then it should drag. Just like selections where you can draw something like that. But right here, I'm going to draw a little bit of a thinner line. Do the same thing on this side. And it's perfect. I want my line art to be as clean as possible, so it's easier for me to make a selection around the character that will help me color the character easier. All right. Yeah, line art is a beast in and of itself. Trying to figure out how to get the look you want. There's different ways to use lines as well. I think that's why it's good to practice drawing with a pen as well, especially when you do studies. If you practice drawing with a pen in your sketchbook, it'll help you build your confidence with ink. That's why I say I'm trying not to use Control Z as much. Just to feel like I'm drawing on paper. I think the problem is, like, maybe I'm too close to the canvas sometimes, so that kind of throws me off. If I was drawing on a piece of paper, I would draw like this the whole time, you know, and just lean into the drawing. But yeah, the line art is pretty much done, except for a few lines here or there. All right. Cool, that's good enough. With base lines right now. Cool. Now what I want to do is add some texture real quick. All right. Yeah, so I just used a G pen for this drawing. Right now I want to use one of the brushes I created. Wherever it's at. These are like my test brushes, trying to figure out how to create some brushes that I like to add textures to the drawings. Something like that. I can turn this layer off now though, right? Yep. Cool. Now I can go in and use this dry ink brush I created. Add some texture to it maybe, to the drawing. Oh, I forgot something. Yeah. I wondered why that looks so weird. All right. All right. Probably add more of this texture here and there, shadows. Just want to try and add as much texture as possible to the drawing. With different kinds of brushes. And just experiment and try stuff out. That's the cool thing about digital art. Nothing's like permanent, really. You can always create a new layer, change what you have. That's why I'm only using one layer to do this line art, because I want it to feel like it's a traditional drawing as much as possible, even though it's really not. Got some cool texture. And then I'll be done, so I can start coloring this. All right. Oh, I forgot these lines over here too. All right. Most of the brushes I make are experimental, and just trying to see how I can make them work for me in my own artwork. I like this like dry ink though. This dry ink brush kind of reminds me of an actual ink brush that I have, where the ink barely comes out and it's like really dry. If you've ever used something like that, you might know what I'm talking about. But just some simple shading here and there. Piece. And yeah, it's still like experimental. Doesn't feel the best right now. Gotta fix it up and get it to a point I like, but overall it's okay. Like it's It's a prototype, and it's working for the purposes that I need it to work right now. Let's get this like watery kind of ink brush. It's like really dry. Some simple little shading here and there, but I think I'm ready to add color, which is what this whole live stream was about. Yeah, 40 minutes in. Yep, time to add color. So I have my line art layer. I'm gonna save it so I don't lose everything I have, and create a layer underneath that. I usually name all my layers so that they're organized, usually toward the end after I finish it. But yeah, that'll be the line art layer, and this will be the color layer. And make this whole process easier, I drew clean lines, and now I can grab the select tool, select everything outside of my character, and now it created this selection, as you can see. And we're going to select everything inside, all the open space or all the negative space in the drawing. It's going to make it 10 times easier to color. You just got to find all those spots in the drawing, all that negative space. And you can press Ctrl-Shift-I, go to your color layer, and grab any color you want. I like to use a gray color. Grab my paint bucket tool, and then I am going to fill in the area that I inverted. But make sure that the refer layer option down here is off. Refer multiple layers. You can keep area scaling on. It just makes the area that the paint bucket fills bigger. So nice. Fill that in. Now I can start coloring. Sometimes it'll do stuff like this because I didn't draw this in, or draw the line art completely closed off, which is fine. I can just make that color back in. But the color scheme, that's the hardest part, especially with a new character design, is trying to figure out the colors. And I'm not using any reference, and so I'm kind of just doing this off of my own imagination. I want this character to be a fantasy setting, and maybe he's from a desert, maybe he's from a foresty area, I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me out in the live comments, tell me where this character is from, and that might impact my color choices. That's a good way to think about character design. Wherever the character is from can impact the color palette that you use for the character. I'm not going to do it that way. First, before I start doing that and shading and stuff, I'm actually going to use my paint bucket tool again and turn the refer layer button on again, so that it just colors the areas that I want to. I meant to say well, okay. No, I want more of a darker colored skin character. And now he's from the desert. Thank you for that. All right. So I'm gonna go with more of a white color palette. I'm actually gonna put the colors over here. You cannot see that, can you? Oh, there we go. Put some colors on the side here. I probably want a complementary palette. And so I'm gonna do some blues and his hair, maybe like a dark brown or something. I think total all you need is like really 5 to 6 colors for your character designs. especially if you plan on creating maybe a comic for them or some type of what's it called? Set of illustrations for the character. Wait, no, this is the main color, is white color. I want him to be from a desert environment, so most of his clothing is going to be this color. Probably just his pants and this like scarf thing. I don't know what to call this. If he's from the desert, it wouldn't be called a scarf, would it? I don't know. But yeah, already that looks pretty cool. I like it. I want this to be a complementary color palette, so the blue will probably be in the scarf itself. Something like this. I don't care if like certain areas in the drawing aren't fully colored yet. I'll go back and fix it. For now, I just want to lay down as much of the base, the local colors as possible. And what's cool about using gray for the color mask layer that you use is that if you have any weapons like swords or anything, you can basically just keep those colors for the swords the same, and then basically all the metal in the character design, you can keep it the same. But I just noticed that this like the wrap around his waist would not look good as this color. So I want to try and figure out a different color I can use. I'll probably end up using another like an orange character color, something like that. I want it to be a more earthy tone, but I feel like that competes with the skin color as well. Maybe just another blue. Maybe this can be all blue and then a darker blue for the stripes on this one. Something like that, maybe. This one. Alright. Yeah, that's why you need reference when you're doing this, because I'd probably be creating a better color palette for the character if I had some reference of a person in some desert attire, maybe like Middle Eastern attire or something. Going on the wrong layer. Yeah, if I had reference up, it'll be a lot easier for me to create this character. Draw the colors for him, but make it work. I think I'll do the same dark blue colors for the wrist wrap, or yeah, something like, I don't know what it's called, whatever this thing's called. Appreciate you. What I think would be fun too is to add just a simple background to show you. I'm inspired by I remember I recently remember one of my favorite games growing up. I used to play Soul Calibur. So I have a reference folder of just like a bunch of Soul Calibur artwork I put into PureRef. So it'd be kind of cool if I did something like this, where characters, you got the character illustration and then like some type of background element. It'd be cool. I'm not doing nothing crazy fancy or anything, but maybe I can do some type of a desert kind of a background or something. But not in this stream. I want to finish as much as possible. Probably go for another 30 minutes or so to end it there. But thank y'all for joining me. Appreciate the help. Just joining me on the live stream, hanging out. What am I doing? When I look at like professional character design for like video games and things, I notice that they usually only use about 5 to 6 colors for their characters. So that's what I want to not imitate, but that's what I want to implement in my own character design. So right now I have 4 colors. I think I need a separate accent color. So I'm thinking like an orange, because orange color will probably go well with this palette. It's complementary to blue. I just gotta figure out where to put it at. I'm thinking maybe here. Maybe that could be like a gold color. I also want some type of leather. Color for leather. Keep drawing on the wrong layer too. All right. So yeah, I want some type of a leather color. Something like this. It'll be darker though, probably. Right now I have 6 colors. Yeah, this one's good. The leather with the belt, and keep drawing on one layer. Yeah, I'm liking it though. Looking dope. I like the accent color of the gold here. Really makes it pop out against the blue, the dark blue here. There's a waistband thing. That's basically the formula, is you want like the 5 or 4 main colors you use. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the rest are probably like accent colors like this yellow and brown and stuff. So I think what would be cool is like maybe yellow dreadlocks. That could be cool. And then I could utilize the accent color that I'm using. Or maybe just black or brown. I'll test it out right now actually. I think use the little bucket tool. What that looks like. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm gonna use the white color instead. That might feel a little bit better, if you will. That's what's great about using line art. I can just color like that really fast. And then I can use the blue color again. here. Nice. Maybe white eyebrows. And then yellow eyes maybe. For the accent color. Nice. And all the leather will be last. The shoes. I'll probably use the gold for the rest of the stuff. The hilt of the swords. I don't know why I'm just filling it in. Easy. There we go. And I use blue. But yeah, basically the first step when you're coloring your characters is to lay down all the local colors so that it's easier for you to shade. Depending on what you are creating the drawing for, there would be a cinematic kind of illustration or comic. Depends on how you shade it, because you can shade it by using a multiply layer or going in and manually shading it yourself, color by color. Really just up to you, what you prefer. So then, for the smaller areas of the belt, I'm going to use this darker brown color, probably less saturated, something like that. Color in those areas of the belt. It might be too dark, but I'm not tripping about it right now. I'll fix it later if I really want to. Yeah, so basically like 3 colors that I'm using. I'm using 4 main colors and then 3 accent colors. Oh, also when you color in the character, make sure that you lock the layer so that you stay in the lines when you draw. Over here on the right, you can lock transparent pixels. You can turn it on or off, and that allows you to draw within the lines of the character. It's very easy. right. All right, so now it's time for the fun part. I get to start shading it. There's two ways I like to shade. You can either do multiply route and clip the layer to the layer below it, or you can just start shading like this. Thank you. Welcome. But yeah, I can either use the multiply layer, or I can use a normal layer and select this color, change the hue to make it cooler, and then bring the hue down a little bit and start coloring like this. And that's cool, I can do that, but that's the most time consuming thing for me to do right now, to shade this way. And that works, that's cool. But if I start doing this, I'm gonna start I wanna go all in I probably will end up shading it like that. I don't know, maybe. But the other way, the faster way to do this, like if I was going to create a comic of this character, and maybe this is a scene in the comic for this character, I would just use a multiply layer that's clipped to the color layer that I have, and pick probably a blue color like this, make it a little bit darker, and shade it all like that, just because it's easier to lay down shadow. And if you're creating a comic, you want it to be as simple as possible, as fast as possible, be able to get panels done as quickly as possible. So it's understandable that you would color a comic or a graphic novel this way, because it's super fast, super quick, and it still looks good too. So it just depends on the style you want to go for, what your objective is. For me, I definitely want to eventually render this character to a more finished degree. I'm not using this character for a comic or anything, so I can practice rendering and coloring with my usual method, because I don't usually use multiply on a colored character. But like I said, if I'm going to draw a comic one day, then I'm going to use the multiply, quickly shade everything and make it look as good as possible that way. Multiply is for fast shading techniques. All the blending modes help you achieve different effects really well. But if you want to go for more of a illustration and make it look really cool, you might just want to shade it by hand, like with without using any layer modes. Either way, it can still look pretty good, depending on how you shade it. But shading was like the fastest part of this whole process, especially when you use multiply layer to shade everything. It depends on what you're going for and how much time you really want to spend on the drawing. Because it could take you as long as you want, really. But yeah, I shaded it pretty fast. I don't think I'm gonna keep it this way though. Just for the stream. And then after that, I can add some cool layer effects. I go to the layer above. If I create a new layer above the line art layer, I can turn on add glow. I like add glow. And then I can use an airbrush. Add some light to it very quickly. Make it look cool. That's probably the route I would go for coloring a character like this. If I was gonna create a comic for this character. I like to do though to make stuff more interesting. And the shadows, and instead of using a blue color for the shadows, I like to use more of a purplish color. So if I shift, if I press Control U and change the hue, make it cooler, purple. That purple hue just goes a lot better with that orange glow, orange yellow glow that I have. Like that, nice. Make it darker maybe. Yeah, looks cool too. After that, you can go above the multiply layer and add some bounce light to the shoulder area. You're standing in a white background. Normally I would have a background or something, but just standing in a white background, so I'll just do this. Something like this. Like the bounce light. Ambient light, and I'm just adding that to the edges of the drawing. And that looks pretty cool, right? I like it. I like it. I like it. The brush I'm using is a brush I created. This is a simple round brush that I made for myself, and I stay on the lines by using a clipping mask or clipping layer in Clip Studio Paint. So if you look over here at the layer menu on the right, I have all my layers here, and everything, all these layers that have like the pink bar on the left of it are all clipped to my color layer. So if I turn off my color layer, all the colors turn off. And so you create a clipping layer by creating a new layer. Let me turn these ones off real quick. You create a clipping layer by going to your color layer and pressing the new layer button, so it creates a new layer. And so once you have your new layer here, it'll show. It won't show it with the pink bar next to it. But in Clip Studio Paint, you want to find the setting. It's this little icon here. It says clip to layer below. And then once it's clipped to that layer, you can draw basically on top of that color layer that you make without going outside the lines. So it just makes the whole digital drawing experience a lot faster. Easier, because you don't have to worry about drawing out of the lines. So hopefully I explained that as simple as possible, but yeah, it's that simple. And once you do that, you can create as many clipping mask layers as you want. But yeah, this is one of the brushes I created. This is a simple round brush I use to color my drawings. I would definitely go back and or maybe not, I don't know. I kind of want to go back and render it differently. But yeah, like I said, this would be how I would render my comic when I make it as simple as possible. I hope that explanation helped you out, because yeah, once you learn that, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with layers and stuff. that I still probably don't know about. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to help you out. And I'm not even using the most recent version of Clip Studio Paint either. I'm using one of the older versions of Clip Studio Paint before Clip Studio went to a subscription model, I think. I don't even keep up with the news with Clip Studio Paint. I just use the version I have, you know. I definitely like Clip Studio the best. I've tried Krita before and Medibang Paint, but I did decide to go with Clip Studio Paint as my main program. All right. And then I think that's pretty much it. Just like little details you want to add after that. But I did good. I pretty much finished the drawing within an hour and 30. That's cool. Finished as it could get within an hour and 30. But yeah, it's cool. It's like he's from a desert environment. And that's why you need a reference when you draw, because probably could have made this design a little bit better. But one last thing I want to add to this is a little effect behind the character. Let's see. I'm just scribbling. There's no method to this madness. Scribbling and scratching. Trying to make something that looks interesting. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's it for this live stream. Appreciate y'all joining me. Get back into the rhythm of things and keep drawing, keep doing live streams. I'm gonna do one at least every week. Help people out, teach some cool stuff, and show people how to draw stuff, and share my progress with art and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with the background. Just messing around, having fun. Yep, just remember to have fun with whatever you're drawing, and don't give up. So, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.